Hello, my name is Mooncat and welcome to my beta recap for weeks 13 and 14. So it's been 2 weeks since I last made one of these recaps, so in this video I will go over things that have been going on the last 2 weeks on the beta server instead of just the last week. So in this video I will go over the possibility of ads being added to the game. I will go over some soccer event updates. I will go over some updates to the Archaeology event, but before all of that, let's quickly go through the change logs, both for week 13, so the week starting 28th, and then after that, the week starting on the 4th of April, so this week. Alright, let's start with the daily changelog for week 13. Now on Monday, they made some adjustments to the Archaeology event. I don't think actually I went over these changes, but the changes they made, the first one, is that they exchanged the milestone rewards, so the Butterfly Sanctuary selection kits, with 2 Butterfly Garden selection kits and 1 Butterfly House upgrade kit for the milestones. So here, previously, we did have the Butterfly House level 1, but then we had 3 selection kits. So full set selection kits where you could select either the house or the gardens. They have now been changed. They are now 2 garden selection kits and 1 house upgrade kit, which in my opinion is a nerf. I don't like it. This means that if you, for example, are only going for the gardens, this means you get yet another useless reward, another useless upgrade that you won't be using. I understand why they're doing this. They want to force you into going for the standard layout, but it is a shame. I would much rather see them reward creativity and really, embrace the fact that these sets buildings are really cool, and if you, play around with them, you can get some really cool designs and all of that. But no, these are now selection kits for the specific pieces, so the main building and the gardens. Then another change, they changed the 7th and 9th grand prize, which were formerly Butterfly House upgrade kit, and they changed those to Butterfly Garden selection kits. So for those going for Butterfly Gardens, this is an improvement, but I would still like to see selection kits instead of house upgrades and garden selection kits. I would rather see complete set selection kits where you can decide yourself if you want to go for the house or the gardens. So the way these grand prizes work now is that you first get 3 Butterfly House upgrade kits, then you get 6 garden selection kits, and then you get another 5 house upgrade kits, then you get another 6 gardens, and so on. So yeah, this will alternate, and that is a shame if you wanted to spend the diamonds to get the garden selection kit. Because it alternates a lot, you will have to spend a lot, and therefore I would not recommend spending diamonds on getting selection kits for the gardens in this event. Now, why would you want to get the gardens? Well, if you haven't seen my previous video, last week they made some very big changes to this event, to the set itself. All of these rewards were massively improved from their initial state. You might recall that initially these had very, very poor rewards, but now all of these have some very nice rewards, or most of them have very nice rewards. You can get quite a lot of attack, quite a lot of forge points, and so on. It's not quite up there with the fall event, but it's definitely very nice. So if you want to have a look at that and some designs you might go for, check out my previous video. And of course I will I will make proper guides to the event and some recommended designs and all of that in the future, closer to the launch of the event itself. Alright, so check that video out if you want more information about that. The rest of Monday was mainly bug fixes. On Tuesday, just some bug fixes. Then on Wednesday, they improved the visibility of the grid in the Space Age Jupiter Moon Outpost. So previously, this was how the outpost looked. You could see the lines, of course, but among buildings, not that clear to see them. This is a big improvement over the Space Age Venus outpost for sure, but they did make some further improvements, so now you can see that these lines here are much more visible. I quite like this change, makes it easier to build in the outpost. Though of course you probably will not build a lot in it beyond the initial phase, but still, it's nice. So this is how it looks now. Quite a big difference, I think, and quite a nice improvement. All right, then on Thursday, yeah, here they made some big challenging balancing changes to the butterfly set. Again, I have a separate video going over all of that, so check that out if you want more information about that. Other than that, just some bug fixes. Then on Friday, some bug fixes, and one bug fix that or one improvement actually, that I didn't really know was a thing. But they have made some changes to the way the social bar is loaded. So in the past, the three bars, so neighbors, guilds, and friends, they had to be opened in order to load, and that led to some issues. For example, if you are a browser player and you're playing GVG, perhaps you didn't know, but in the log, if you have the player that attacked you in one of your lists, so either neighbor, guild, or friend, or you can't be guild, but yeah, if you had the player on one of those lists, you could see their name if they attacked you and your guild in the log. If you didn't have the player on one of those lists, you would just see the guild that attacked you, not the player that attacked you. So yeah, that apparently didn't work properly if you hadn't loaded all the social bars. And then on the app, apparently there were some issues with trades if you hadn't loaded all of those. So yeah, that should probably be fixed now. They do say that they are not confirmed that these issues will be fixed by this change, but it probably will, I imagine. So they've changed the way the social bar is loaded. Probably not a big deal for most players, but it should have some impact, I suppose. Alright, that's it for week 13. Let's move on to week 14. There's not too much here. On Monday, just a bug fix. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, some bug fixes, and specifically these two that I have highlighted, I think perhaps are more interesting to quite a few players. So, adding recipients to a new message did not work as intended. Apparently that didn't work on mobile, on the app itself. So yeah, that has been fixed now. You can now add players again with the drop-down menu and search field. Apparently that didn't work properly. I hadn't noticed it myself. And they also made some technical improvements to the army management. Now, this does not mean that they have changed the gameplay or the way this works on the app, but it should improve the performance according to this changelog. So yeah, changing units on your phone is not that fun of an experience. It takes quite a long time. This shouldn't really change the core mechanics of how this works, but it should improve the performance of the actions. So that should be nice, I suppose. Then on Thursday, just some bug fixes, but this one I thought was quite funny. Apparently it was possible under specific conditions, don't really know which conditions, for two players to have the same username. So yeah, that I haven't seen it myself, but I imagine that would be quite an issue. So yeah, that has apparently been fixed, so that's quite fun. And then finally on Friday, this one I noticed myself, but on the app, I don't know if this was specifically the beta app or if it was the live app as well, but you couldn't switch your world. To switch your world, you had to log out and then log in again, and then select the world you wanted to play in. So if you don't know, on mobile you can change the world by clicking on settings and then a change world button, where you get the selection of all the worlds you play in. But yeah, that didn't work. Apparently that has been fixed now as well, so I suppose I have to update my beta app for that to work. Alright, so that's the changelogs. So not too much, but we do have some interesting things. Now let's move on to the spoilers. And first of all, we have Tavern Expansion. What does this mean? Well, I don't really know. We apparently have some sort of Tavern Expansion that might be coming. So we have this background image here, and that's all we have. But the name of this background image is, or the path of the file is GUI, the tavern, and it's called the St. Patrick taskbar background. What does that mean? I don't really know. This would suggest some sort of tasks in the tavern. No idea what this means. And I don't know how this is connected to St. Patrick, or what it has to do with St. Patrick. Does this have anything to do with the St. Patrick's Day event, which of course is over now? Or is it just the St. Patrick in general? I don't know. But this might also be related to the ads, as I mentioned in the beginning. It now seems like in the future we will get ads in Forge of Empires. So we might be getting some ads in the future. And I know what you might be thinking, but don't worry, this will probably be quite fine. As Beelzebub said here, really hope it is opt-in or not opt-out. And we do have some clarification from the community manager. Let me just read this in full. So, following discussion in this thread and speculation regarding ads, we would like to address some concerns raised. Within the near future, we will test the implementation of video ads. As such, we will implement a test that does not impede user experience. That means we want to have video ads that are not disruptive to the flow of gameplay or that are detrimental to the player. Rather, they will be implemented to provide players with additional options to win rewards and are supplemental to the core Forge experience. We have only just begun to implement video ads in the game, and we will begin a comprehensive test only after implementation. I hope that clarifies this further and addresses some concerns raised. So this to me is very reassuring. If this is true, this will not be disruptive to the way the game is played. You will not be forced to watch an ad to continue fighting in guild battlegrounds or anything like that. And to me, this sounds quite a lot like an old feature that some of you might remember, the show hall. I remember this from when I first started playing. This was released just before I started playing in March 2018. And if you don't remember, this was a building outside your city, which when you clicked on it, you could watch a free ad. And by watching this ad, you could get a small reward. And when I say small, it was indeed small. So here we have a screenshot from the German forum, but you can see here what the rewards were. Some coins or medals. Don't know what age this is, so don't know if those numbers are good or not, but probably not that great. Some forge points, some goods, or even a very small chance of some diamonds. So that's what you could get back in 2018. I imagine if something similar was added now, it would have some improved rewards. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what these ads are, and if they are indeed intrusive, non-intrusive, and if they are not disruptive to the game flow itself. Hopefully that's true, and I do believe that this will be similar to this. I don't think it'll be disruptive. Alright, now let's move on to the soccer event. Now here we have a few changes. First of all, we now have one more level of the Gentiana windmill. I still don't know how to pronounce this, but yeah, we now have an 8th level. Previously we only had 7. I didn't really realize that this wasn't a fully leveled one, but we do have some more features here. We have a roof over the bridge here. We have some more life down here on the ground. The windmill is a little bit fuller and all of that. So yeah, we have some improvements here. And also one thing I didn't realize last week or 2 weeks ago is that this image here of the full thing even on last time, this did indeed have the full or the level 8 windmill here. So last time this was actually the same as the now level 8 building. So yeah, that's something I didn't spot last time. Now, in addition to that, we also have the loading screens for the event. So here we have the first loading screen, and here we can see the full building. We actually got this a few days before the level 8, so some people were wondering why this was different than the final level of the building. But yeah, now this is same as the final level of the building, with a fuller windmill, roof over here, and all of that. And then finally we have the loading screen of the building itself. So here again we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 levels. So, oh, actually I just realized this is not the fully leveled one. So here we don't actually have the final level of the building. So here it is, level 7 building. I didn't realize, but I did check my last video, and this image here was indeed the full one. So this is from the game files. So yeah, I suppose they do need to update the update the loading screen, but yeah, that's not a big deal. Anyways, so that's it for those. Finally, one more thing that is also probably related to the event is the new battle pass. So initially I thought this might be a new feature, but this seems to be related to or be something similar to what we had in the Forge World event with an event pass. So this is probably the same as the event pass. We will probably have 2 lines of rewards or grand prizes in the soccer event as well. One, the regular one that you get for free, and one where you have to spend some diamonds to get all of the other rewards as well. So that's quite alright for those who played the football event. The rewards here were alright, not amazing, but if you did get a lot of grand prizes, I believe it was 2,000 diamonds you had to spend to unlock it. It was worth it for some players. So yeah, I imagine that it'll be similar for the soccer event, and I don't really mind it too much. Probably not going to get it personally, but it's alright, I suppose. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Hopefully you found it interesting. But before I end this video, I would like to thank my Patreons for their support. I would like to thank Homestar, Fort Prefect, Lorden, Rockin' Robin, Kim Cayley, Joshua Clark, Rolf the 8th, PQ the Goat, Merrick B, Arkler, Hugo Kant von Count, Jan Fredriksen, Jude the Genuous, Filda, Rush, Susan Weiss, Megarock, Rago, Henrik Darklever, Mattia, Object the Obsessed, Rav, Kim, XD, Odaril, and Mike. Thank you all very much for your support. I also want to say that next week, from Wednesday to next Monday, I will be away. I will be traveling to my family for Easter, so don't expect a lot of videos then. I'm not sure if I will have a recap next week. If I do have a recap next week, it will not be before Tuesday probably. But yeah, if I don't have a recap next week, I will do the same thing that I did with this video, to have 2 weeks in one recap. Alright, so that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. Thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you in the future.